What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, I'm going to take you on a nice 15 or so minute tour of the 2025 Cedar Creek Experience 33BH. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, this is a unit that really resonates with me and my family. We have 4 kids at home. This has 3 bunks, with the bottom one being a sofa that pulls out where you could easily put, a kid or 2 depending on their size. But this really has everything that you want. A nice big bathroom, one-piece fiberglass shell, the works there. 4 slide outs. But the nice thing about the Experience series is they trim a little bit of the fat, so that way you can save, just a little bit of money compared to their counterpart, the regular Cedar Creek. So instead of having a touch screen for the controls, you'll have manual. You have a little bit of different trim. But I think you're going to find out that this is a very luxury finish to a unit. That, again, is maybe saving you a little bit of money where you don't mind to save it. So hit that like and subscribe button if you guys like daily RV content. Down in the description, I will put a link where you can access some pricing, but also the specifications, things like length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, all that good stuff. But yeah, hope you're having a good day. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Again, the 2025 Cedar Creek Experience 33BH, and right there, baby, the aluminum structure. So I have a really good relationship with Cedar Creek from like a professional standpoint, in the fact that I have sold them when I was selling RVs for probably 6 to 7 years or so. And it's one of those brands that you can kind of let loose into the wild and kind of feel good about it. They do a really good job on construction quality. Their studs are all going to be 16 on center, or less, which is really nice. So right when you walk in, this is kind of what you're looking at for the living room. You're going to have your cooking slide right over here, really nice and tall, probably sitting at about, well, there's a sticker right there, 6'10". I think my wife would get a really good kick out of that right here. But then you're going to have another slide, which they, so conveniently decored out for you, boy. You got a couple plates, got a couple, places for maybe some coffee, whatever that plant is. But this is going to be, your seating slide. And I like how they have one side with chairs, one side with, whatever you call that, the ottoman or armoire ottoman. I always mix that up. I've said it in a couple videos and people tell me, your recliners right here with the TV. But since this is a bunk model, I figure I'll start back there and then we'll come back out to the kitchen and give you a little bit better look. So right off the bat, again, we have 4 kids. So you have a bunk right here with a weight capacity of 150 pounds, and then a sofa that will pull out to make a bed as well. So I would say probably put our 2, middle boys there. And then right over here, you're going to have a little bit of a larger bunk, with a guardrail, which I think is really nice. As a parent, just having something to where maybe someone won't roll out because it is a little bit tall, is pretty helpful. You get a couple windows back here, which you can see are blocked up by the old Dracula shades, stopping the old skin from sizzling, keeping those nosy eyes out. Outlet, cable hookup, outlet, USB, and universal C. You're also going to have 4 dresser drawers right here as well, with a ladder that you could put here, or there. I'm not sure if it comes with 2 or if it's just that one, but either way, maybe the one that can jump a little better can use it. The other one can, struggle bus city it up. Who knows? So right here, you got yourself a little bit of storage. What I would probably do personally is put in like a little hanging rack or something like that. Use it as a closet. I also like how the fact, if you notice right there, it's going to be on the soft close cabinetry. So again, that's going to go back to the fact that while the Experience is saving a little bit money with some things, it's still a very high-end coach. It's also going to be a real wood there too as well. Right back here too, you have a place not only to show off the old bowling gun, baby, but it's also a half bath for the kids, or maybe even convert this into an office. It's also going to be the porcelain foot flush throne, which, babe, if you're watching, I love you. I also like the fact that you do have the bowl there too as well. Now, sitting down in this as an adult, it's going to be a little bit cramped on there, but that's okay. It is for the kids, and you're still glamping, so they can make some concessions here or there, as long as you don't. And then right back out here into the living room. And again, notice how you don't have any carpet in the slides. It's going to be like a vinyl woven material. And again, 6'10" for slide height. So a lot of people message out saying they're, 6'5", 6'6", what'll work for me. And this area right here would be perfect for some of the taller folks. Now let me go ahead and open this thing up here real quick. So all of these windows here are going to open up. You see with the screen, I'm going to keep that closed. It's cold as bejeebers out here. I'm at a factory in Forest River, but it's like -9 out. So I'm doing all I can to keep the heat in these RVs because it's all cement on the floor, kind of radiating up. Power for the seats. So that's nice. You don't have to worry about yanking on anything. 2 cup holders for your drinks. And then, of course, you got a place for your TV, or your TV remote, and a place for your, maybe like a book. Insignia TV, I do believe this is going to be a smart TV, but you want to double check that. And then you're also going to get storage here up above. And I like how they have the textured glass finish with kind of the golden looking knobs. I think that's a really nice kind of little mix up on there. You're also going to see you got the 30-inch Furrion fireplace. So what's nice about that, and if I was plugged into the actual 30 or 50 amp, right now I'm on 110, you can turn that on, and where it's like 40, 50 degrees in here, you turn that up and it would really kind of sweat you out of the room. So it's a really nice feature to have to keep down on some of those propane costs. Your table, aside from the chairs that we already kind of went over, you're also going to notice there's no place, to be banging your knees around, and you have a nice little convenient place to put, all of your silverware and your whatnots. Now, I do not know what this is. I've actually never seen that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Nothing too crazy, but it's just more of a don't waste the space feature is what I would say. But I would say, a bunch of spices and all that in there would be, pretty darn nice. I'm someone that likes to do a little bit of cooking. So I think that would be, pretty cool to line that up. Just want to make sure it's in there nice and secure. You got that famous TikTok sink right here. And so what I mean by that is you have a soap dispenser, high-rise faucet, hitting those dishes from all angles. You also have your cup cleaner and a waterfall, but it's all going to be a stainless steel bowl there too, which is nice. And there should be a couple different racks that go in there, in addition. Like you got one right there for your dishes, so I think that's pretty nice. And in that box, there's probably like a wet one and a dry one, so that way you can pull water or not. 4 pull-out drawers right here. And what's nice about the Cedar Creek is you are going to get the dovetail finish, so a little bit nicer, higher end than you would be in some of the brands which use the staple finish. And then we are back on over to the cook-in slide. We're going to see a larger than average oven. We're going to get the 3 stovetop burner to whip up all the fixings. And then an oven, big enough maybe for, like a chicken or something like that. Pull-out drawers on both sides. But this one is a little bit different because you have a trash can and then a cutting board right there. So chop, 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 throw away, throw away. Got yourself a microwave with the old potato mode, baby. Get you cooking up some potatoes. Potatoes, popcorn, beverage. Maybe some hot cocoa on a day like today would be pretty nice. Another little spice rack, a place where you can put some towels, and then obviously, again, the solid surface countertops. But I like how there's room on either side of the oven. I think the backsplash looks pretty good as well. I believe that's going to be new for this year because I don't recall seeing that previously. But I'll have to check into that. And down in the description, you'll have a link for some of that information there too. Outlets on both sides. So if you want to rock the Keurig, or something like that, which by the way, I got the new Keurig. It has a coffee pot on one side and then uses the pods on the other, but has a cold brew setting on there. Not really a guy that uses cold brew, but thing's pretty nice. Works a heck of a lot better than our one we had for a couple of years. Ice maker, center partition that you can move over. And then you have a secondary freezer portion as well with another tray that slides over the top. But you can easily fit a week's worth of food in that thing, absolutely no problem. It's also going to be the 12 volt. So if you're not familiar with the 12 volt refrigerator, that'll run off of the solar that's on top of the RV, your truck when you're driving down the road. Obviously, your battery or 110, do whatever you want with that. More countertop space over here with more outlets, USB Universal C, and then kind of like your regular GFCIs. Another little pull-out tablet. Bada bing, bada boom. I also like how you have this little lip right there for nothing more than the fact that things aren't going to come, it just has like a little barrier stopper for you. This unit also, it's looking like it's probably got 3 ACs. We'll have to double check, but there was one back in the bunk room, one right here, and that opening side is going to be what's called a dump valve if you're not familiar with it. So if you're going to be hanging out in this room, Nobody in the bedroom, nobody in the back room. Well, you can open this up to disproportionately push all the cool air into this room, as opposed to letting it evenly distribute throughout the track system. You're also going to see that you have a fan to help circulate some of the steam or stink, from whatever the kids are doing or whatever you're cooking. As far as the solar too, so I'm glad they put the sticker on there because people hire me because I'm friendly. But this is a 200-watt solar panel up top, so that'll run the refrigerator just fine. It'll also trickle charge, your battery. Fuse box right as you're coming into the entrance, and this is going to be that control panel, and again, part of the experience portion where it's the manual controls. And from my experience in RVs, I actually prefer it this way. I just think it's kind of just less tech to go wrong for you. But your slide room controls, your different lighting systems, and then you can check all your black tank, fresh tanks, all of that, along with your solar charge controller. So it'll let you know, where you're at on the battery. Right now, we're about half battery life. If we were outside, it would tell you what amperage you are pulling in. You also have the control panel for your heat and AC right here. So you can see zone 1, 2, and 3. So 3 different zones, which is nice. So if you're someone that likes to watch movies warm in the living room, but sleep cool at night, well, you can set each zone a hair differently. The old steamer stink sucker 3000 right up there in the bathroom. And I like the fact that they're using the one-piece fiberglass shell with the fancy shower head where it comes out at 4 different ports. So bada bing, bada boom, bada bungo. 3-piece fiberglass shell. I am also 6 foot, 300 pounds for reference. You can probably fit 2 of me in here if we're packed in, 1.5 if it's getting a little crazy. But you got about 6'3" up into the ceiling and probably 6'6" up into the skylight. I also like the fact that you got a place where you can put, some of your soaps, or if my wife's shaving her legs, she can hop a leg up right there and, she's ready to rock. Good place for your towels, or you can hang them up right here. Hang it down on me. And then you turn around, you got another mirror, another gun. They're also using the Suburban tankless on-demand hot water heater. So that's going to be really nice for, not instantaneous. I always thought it was, but it's not instantaneous. Obviously, you got to blow through some of the cold water, but very quick to have hot water, and it lasts as long as you have propane. The porcelain bowl right here, accent lighting on the floor, and then they're also including in some shutoff valves, which I believe are new for 25s as well, which is pretty nice. Put on a little calendar here. I mean, that's just cool, just for no wasted space, a little, whatever feature, but I would use this all the time. We actually use something like this right now. It's a little board we bought off Amazon, expensive little sucker, but it allows me to put my plans in for traveling under different users. Maybe I'll link that down in the description just for the heck of it. Sorry, I'm rambling now. I'm excited. I've drove 4.5 hours. Our power went out yesterday, and it's like -9 degrees with wind chill, but our power went out at like 10. Didn't come on until 6 o'clock, and our house got down to 45 degrees. And, that's just a bad scenario. But now that I'm getting a little warmer, I'm starting to get juiced, get jacked, baby. You have the, whatever you want to call that, shelving with outlets over there. You also have outlets on both sides, like regular outlets. Those are going to be USB Universal C. Both windows do open up. You can obviously see that it's got the Dracula shade. And then the head height in here is pretty darn nice. So we're at about 6'4", 6'5". So again, kind of built for the taller people out there that struggle with some of the brands. Another Insignia TV. This is also going to be a window with an emergency exit. So pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. You also have an outlet right there. And then you lift this up. Got a clock falling. Someone told me one time what the 10 and 2 meant. I think they said it was the angel number. But if you guys don't mind, someone can drop down the meaning of that again down in the description. Because I always forget until I see it. I'm always curious about that. All right. Another mirror, another gun. And then right here, big old hanging closet because they used the, well, it's switched. It used to be called the Rhino Box pin box, but we'll go out there and check that here in a second. But they use a pin box that's a little bit more rigid, but it gives you about 15% more space here up in the front. So that's kind of the give and take of that. Your washer and dryer, you got the controls for it right here, the plugins for it, I guess, but then you can remove this portion and put it on there. So if you're not someone that needs it, it's nice now that you get extra shelving. There's also a dryer vent location behind there as well. But all right, guys, maybe drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Now we're going to head around the outside, just spend a couple moments there. Again, this is the 2025 Cedar Creek Experience 33BH. Now, all those specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description. And again, I'll also put a link where you can find some pricing on this unit. So right off the bat on the exterior, you have a nice fiberglass finish. Cedar Creek actually uses a little bit of a higher end fiberglass too than a lot of your counterparts there. You're also going to see you have a molded fiberglass front cap, and they introduced the soft glow lighting here, which I'm personally a fan of. I know it can kind of go either way, that it's just front cap lights, it is what it is, but I like the way that it looks, especially at night. I think it is pretty cool. Okay, so it is still called the Rhino Box. I thought they changed the name of it for some reason, but I guess it is still the Rhino Box. Really nice big storage here up front. You're also going to be getting the 6-point hydraulic auto leveling, which is nice. If you guys are bringing some furry friends, you got the little leash latch right there. And then right behind this door, you got your dual propane bottle. So on the other side, I'm assuming you get a little bit more storage because typically they split them there. But this also has a really nice exterior kitchen, which we'll get to here in just a second. This is going to be your pass-through storage. You'll see that it's got that aluminum frame construction. Now these ones are going to be bolted on there as opposed to weld. So there's a lot of people that actually prefer it. I'm not an engineer and can't tell you exactly why, but the pitch on it, that it actually has a little bit of room as opposed to the rigidity, being all rigid. I don't know, heck, whatever. But then you have this little paneling where you can put in, like, hook in some baskets, you know, whatever you might want. And then you also have outlets here, cable hookups, a little spray port for some exterior water, and then slam latch door underneath. You can see it's all buttoned up there for you. The steps are going to be one of the nicer steps, which you can always tell which one has the nicer step. Basically, right as you look in here, you have that little box. So that's just going to indicate that it's just going to be easy for you to lift up, which is nice. So if you are someone buying this, I'm assuming you're not converting the back into an office, but you might be. But regardless, you know, I have a 3-year-old at home with some dingling boys that are a little bit older, and just having to where if they're messing around with it, just kind of goofing off, for me to know that it's not going to slam down and it's easy for someone to lift, just kind of one of those reassuring features you got. The slide out, the awning, sorry, on this, I'm going to guess probably about 16 feet or so, but that will be down in that description. But you have the LED lights, provides good shade here all the way up to the point where you get to the slide. Now you're going to notice on this, that's part of that experience. These aren't going to be the frameless windows, they're the framed in. Again, you probably don't really care about it versus the money that you're spending, you know, because you got kids, you got a budget. I know I sure do. The anti-lock braking system for the tires. Then you're also going to have the tire pressure monitoring system. So that's going to be the TST. What's nice about that is you're going to get a little monitor that's going to tell you when the tires are overinflated, underinflated, you know, when it heats up, something like that. It'll start screaming at you. And then here we are onto the back side where you're going to have your fairly large outside kitchen. So I think that's pretty darn nice. Right here, you got yourself a little apple juice refrigerator, probably fit yourself about a 45 rack or so right in there. And then you have maybe even a 60 pack. Be nice. We'll have to test that out later. And then right here, you got your microwave on the exterior, which I think is pretty cool. So that way you don't have to run, you know, in and out. The sink is also going to be plumbed in and not one of the drop-in sinks that you have to constantly dump in and out. And then you have an outlet as well. So, I mean, if you want to come out here, kind of get your margarita on, you know, plug one in, you're ready to rock. You're going to have the 2-inch receiver with a 300-pound hitch rating. So if you do want to bring on some bike racks or something like that, you got 300 pounds to work with there, which is pretty nice. That black bar is going to be the Lippert on-the-go ladder to get on top of your fully walkable roof. I recommend, you know, aside from the obvious, getting up on there, you know, after trips to make sure there's nothing on the slide, but about every 3 months or so to check all your seals, slides, and make sure everything is on the up and up maintenance-wise. You also have this right here, which is for the Furrion S-Vision, is what it's going to be prepped up for. But it's basically a 4.5-inch screen on a backup camera, so you can see what's going on behind you with some distance markers. Also, while you're driving down the road, it's more of an observation camera than a backup camera, but also has a one-way mic on it, which is pretty nice too. You can get that installed at the dealership level. All of these slides are eligible for a slide topper. So if you're not familiar with it, I was just looking around to see if there's another one on there, but it's basically a piece of awning that goes from here to here. So instead of having to get on top of the unit and checking your slides after every trip, you can kind of pay to get out of that, at least over here on this side. Right there's going to be your sewer outlet connection, and the valve will be on the other side right there. This is going to be where you plug in the unit. This is going to be a 50 amp unit. Again, you have the 3 AC, so you're going to need some good old juice to pull that up. And then you also have that tankless on-demand hot water heater as well. Now right over here is going to be the back end of the pass-through storage. You have another rack to hang up some more stuff, and then this is going to be your, your docking station where you have your different valves, your hydraulic room controls. So if you pull over just for the night and you want to open up just the bedroom slide, we'll turn off the other ones, crank that, then open it up, and you're ready to rock. You also have a battery disconnect, hot and cold water in the form of an outside shower, all your bypass valves, city water connection, black tank flush, the works there. You are ready to rock. And then right over here should be your batteries. Yep. And you got a place for your battery. Controls for your leveling will be located right there. Here are some of the stats straight from the sticker, so if you want to compare that to what's below. But all right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Again, my name is Hunter, and this is the 2025 Cedar Creek Experience 33BH. Have a great day. See you.